Hey everyone, wanted to give you a walking tour video of San Juan, the cruise port right there. And this was from our cruise in July of 2024. We really enjoyed the port. The port, in addition to the port area, we also did the fort that was right there. I got a little bit of video from that too. The vantage point up there is really cool to kind of see the whole area, which is really neat. So I hope you enjoy the video, and please remember to subscribe to the channel. We're going to start off the tour here in the front of the ship. Since we docked facing forward, I guess facing toward the port area, I figured it was good to go up to the bow and get a good view of everything up there. Now, you saw Adventure of the Seas was next to us. And if you look along the water here, all of these tents, and you're going to see more of them on the other side to the left, they're some of the street vendors that are right along there, since a lot of these buildings, they don't have like a designated, I don't know, shopping, touristy, t-shirt type areas. So that's where all the vendors set up there to sell all their stuff. Now you do see that it's a little bit unusual. The pier actually splits off into a Y. So if you're heading to the left, you go one way, you're heading to the right, you go the other way. When I looked it up on the map, I realized it was better for us to go to the left and then kind of go a little bit along the building there and curve around to some of the streets where some of the better shopping was going to be. And this is a good view of the port area right here. It's kind of nice to sail in. You sail right past the fort, which we're going to see toward the end of the video. And it gives you a good view of everything. So if you've never been here, I kind of recommend at least taking a run up to the front of the ship. It was a beautiful day. I could get a good look and see where we had to go. And here we are as we kind of get through security and we get off the pier and onto the main street there with the sidewalk and the street and all. So you can see all the vendors are lined up down here. It does get a little bit busy down there. So if you do want to shop, plan on taking a little bit of time. I will say this, there is a Walgreens and I believe a CVS right along there. And we're going to turn here really quick and take a look at the ship as it's docked. It is kind of nice that it is so close. You don't really have far to go if you kind of want to just get off and get into this immediate port area. But right across the street, there is a Walgreens, and I think there's a CVS down the road a little bit. My cruise hack to all of you, if there's anything you need at one of those stores, when I say need, not just like, oh, I just want to run in and grab a bottle of water, go early, because we were going to stop in there and get one or two things on our way back to the ship. They had 2 or 3 registers open and there were probably 40 people in line. So we just said, forget it. We just went back on and get it back on the ship. This is kind of some of the streets you can walk around, a lot of different shops and all. This is a good view to show you how narrow these streets are. They're all one way. I give people credit for driving around here. There's very few street signs, stop lights, anything like that. There's people kind of walking everywhere, but they seem to handle it pretty well. So it's just a little bit of a tight corners at times when you're getting around here. So, but they do have really, really good shopping here. Anything from just, the average kind of knickknack, touristy type of stuff, all the way up into kind of the luxury watches, jewelry, that type of thing. So, and you can see down more on some of these streets. And I'll tell you this, the general rule of thumb, I would say, if you're heading downhill, you're heading back towards the cruise ship. So if you get a little turned around, you can almost guarantee that if you're walking downhill, you're going to make your way to the cruise ship. And this is kind of the other side, I want to say, of the peninsula that we are on here. And so this is not the harbor. This is actually the Atlantic. and it's right near the fort that we're going to get to in just a second. And we didn't have plans on going to the fort, but we are so glad that we did. It was such a neat thing to do, kind of read some of the history behind it. And the vantage point you get from up there, I mean, this is just a great view, but wait a little bit and you see some of the vantage point you have when you're in this fort on some of the upper levels. And I will say, this was July and it was really hot in here. All this concrete really made it hot. So be prepared if you want to do this. But they have all these rooms you can go into. You can kind of read about some of the things that the guys did when they manned this fort and all. And they have some of the replicas or antiques here. And I don't know if this was like a jail for captured prisoners or something like that. We're on about the mid-level right now, and you can see it's a good view of the town with the cruise ships over to the left. And we're going to get even higher than this in just a second. And I did look it up. This fort is the Castillo San Felipe del Morro. And I think it's just more commonly referred to as the Del Morro. And so it's just neat to read some of the history about it, how they manned the fort. There'll be a spot later on where you can see where they would have a cannon and how they could position it to try to accurately or somewhat accurately hit one of the ships that might be trying to invade their area. We're going to get up to that upper section in just a minute. All of these little lookout areas are kind of cool. And there's no like guided tour here. So you're kind of on your own, but it's really cool to kind of check it out. Like I said, the vantage point you get up here is fantastic. So you see Adventure of the Seas on the left, and that was our ship Freedom on the right. Now we're pretty much at the higher end of this. I think this is about as high as we go. So you can see on the harbor where the ships are or to the Atlantic Ocean. That is the court area that when you first enter, that's where you are, and you can look around there quite a bit. And there were just people up here kind of snapping pictures and everything to take a look and see what this was all about. But being so close, and it's not even like you need to take a taxi ride here or anything like that. As part of your kind of walking tour of San Juan, I would recommend incorporating this because it just kind of had a really neat feel to it. And we had a lot of fun. Like I said, we weren't expecting to go here. I think it was, I want to say about $10 per person. And I'm assuming that's just to kind of keep it up and keep a couple of the people there hired. So definitely worth it if you get a chance. And some of these lookouts are really cool here too. But you can just see from up here, you can just see for miles. Actually, it would be kind of cool if you were here and there was another cruise ship coming in, you would be able to see them depending on what direction they're coming from. And here we go. And we're going to take a look now over to the left. And just gives you some real kind of picturesque area to take a look. Now, these curved rails here on the ground or on the level here, that is where we read about it, where they would have a cannon and they would be able to turn it and then adjust the angle depending on where a ship was that might be trying to invade this area. You see the curved rails right there. And so it was kind of neat to see how those worked. And one more view for you. And we're going to head down. So this ramp here will take you up or down to the entrance and also that main courtyard area. Not much in the way. They do have a little bit of a souvenir shop. We just went in and got some waters in there because it was so hot. But you can take a look at a few things in there. There's not really much to buy, but plenty of picture opportunities. And here we are as we are wrapping things up. heading back down. So we got the kind of the town square right here. And then I think we took a left and we made our way back to the ship that way. But one more look here. And very friendly, felt very safe in here, and we really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the video, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for checking out my video, and remember, if you're looking for a cruise, contact me and I'll find the perfect cruise vacation for you.